Hello, everyone. I kind of wanted to take this opportunity to share a little bit of backstory about me as a person, and based on the storyline that I've um, come from, based on the life that I've come from, and what changed underneath. Um, in the past, I was I was very angry upon the world. I was very fearful, low self esteem, and judging myself for the choices that I made, um, the lies that I told, the not truths that I told. That also happened quite a lot. And what I experienced quite often was the idea of the good and the bad. And the idea is that I needed to fight the bad that is external out of me. And what I noticed myself as well is I often was conflicted with that state of, is this something, am I the good person, or am I fighting my own bad behaviors? Am I judging myself, my own self-hatred that I had inside of me? And one of the things that really helped me was a book from Rutger Bregman. This is a Dutch variant, but he also has an English one. Um, and the title of the Dutch one is "De meeste mensen deugen." And it talks about that most people around us do not have any negative or bad intent in their behavior. And based on this book, I started to see the positivity around me with all of the people that I saw, even when they were showing bad behavior, what most of us would call bad behavior. I was listening to the insights that they had, or not even the insights, but I was just curious upon, okay, what happened which made you be in this state, in this angerness, in this fearful state. And later on, I think half year later, approximately that, 5, 6, 7 months, 7 months later, I came across the Mind Valley course, certified life coach. And in that course, I learned how to listen to insights from people. Where were they struggling in what's going on in their life? And based on those interactions with the people that I was in that cohort with, I started learning, I started understanding that everything is such an emotional response and a trauma response in a different way. Because quite often, nowadays, now the past year, 2 years, it has been going on better and better in my circles at least. But before, talking about traumas was um, like it's almost shameful to talk about your traumas if you didn't had a massive, big trauma event, like a very violent occurrence or a very negative one. Um, but opening up to that state of continuously little traumas, and that our behavior is quite often shaped into our little traumas as a response, as a protective mechanism into our little traumas, that has created something that we often call an ego response, playing a certain role and playing a certain character, basically. And what I noticed in a certain time is, yeah, after being in that coaching container, the life coaching, and 2 months later, I joined a business retreat in Madeira, and there I had very strange realization that I became friends with my own ego. I started thanking him from protecting me from not killing myself, basically, and yeah, like leaning into that wholeness. Somewhere that kind of unlocked quite a lot of levels for me personally, and based on that, also the story why I why I tell you guys this at this moment. I just had a conversation, and we were discussing someone who was focusing a lot of her energy on the negative things that she was seeing in this life, which includes a lot of politics, a lot of news, a lot of the wars that's going on, the fights that's going on, and listening to that state, like I recognize that state. Like I'm a data analytic, I'm a data analyst, and being in that state of angerness, trauma response, fearful upon the world, with all of the notifications and the stress that we have all been bombarded in this Western world, in this concept of good and evil, um, has made me very, very, very scared and paranoid back in the day. And I still feel some trauma response based on that sometimes. But partially why I publicize, why I create this video itself, is that I want to open up with the idea of growth, with that sense of peace and rest that I am in right now. And while I'm doing that, having more impact in the world than ever before. Like weekly, I talk with, well, at minimum 10 people each week, all over the globe, and talking about how to create more positive impact upon their life and people that they have around them. Similar as that they are doing that for me and for my people around me. And being in that state is really like it has been really worth it to let go of that fearfulness, that ego part, that resistance that I had around me, that angerness. And well, Rutger Bregman has been an amazing source for that personally. But there were also others. Like um, I know just beforehand, I also had George Orwell, 1984. For those who know that, it's pretty scary. Um, it's a pretty scary book if you see it in the common days right now, in the state that we are in. And also there was also another one, yeah, Animal Farm. Of course, it's also a pretty scary one. And Alexander Solzhenitsyn with the Gulag Archipelago. Like all of these different books have their strength and their truthness in that, and it has been part of my journey for understanding what the world is um, working around, and I'm still growing around that. But it is well, this specific book really helped me to another level in combination with David Hawkins with Power versus Force or his book Letting Go, where he talks about a concept called the map of consciousness. And what map of consciousness that is focusing on the idea of um, it, yeah, it's a certain map of emotional layers. So it starts with depression, angerness, neutrality, pride, neutrality, friendliness. I don't know exactly the skills on the top of my mind. Um, but it has been so beneficial for me as an old electrical engineer to really understand that level of spirituality almost, as everyone around me will recognize. I'm not a believer in such a way that I believe in a certain religion or a spiritual journey or in the hippie idea of love and light all around and all the love to you. And yet, in that growth for my expansion, somewhere I made that switch of that revelation of it's okay, everything is going to be all right as consciousness that we are and the beings that we are. So it has been a very interesting past year, 2 years. And one of the things that you see me posting quite a lot about as well is my whole productivity journey. And with that idea of productivity to escape or to process my own traumas, basically. Uh, what do I feel like? What do I believe? Can I deal with that? Can I just create that mindfulness idea beneath that? Like processing the traumas that I've experienced and really lean into what do I currently believe and is this belief really serving me at this time? Can I choose a different one that is helping me more to feel comfortable with, well, actually recording this video and putting that online very openly with for everyone to see. Um, so that's also why I'm a very big advocate of the whole second brain of externalizing your own thoughts, because we have been so educated in a different way to um, connect our intellect to our self value. The smarter that you are, the better that you deserve life in a certain way. At least that's quite often in my circles. And the invitation or the what I've learned, the insight that I've learned, that's not actually about the intellect itself, but it's about the EQ, so the emotional coefficient, about you feeling good and you experiencing that love and sharing that positivity around you in your life. And that has been a mind-boggling shift for me personally, and what I just mentioned, everyone around me. And like the groups that I'm in, the the impact that I have right now, it's unbelievable upon the shift that's possible without even thinking about the idea of wealth or money or just that healing part of yourself to discover the purest version of yourself, which has been just amazing, to be honest. And now I'm at a state to publicize more of my thoughts, ideas, to find those that will resonate with my ideas. For so many people that I see around me, to elevate their state into a next level of being, to drop the notion of angerness, depression, or to drop the resistance that is holding them to experience that angerness. I must say it correctly. Because it is the state of expansion where we will thrive in. Like, and there's a lot of new ideas within the spiritual world, within what is consciousness, what are highly evolved beings, what are highly vibrating people, what exactly does that mean, why does that mean, how is that connected with intuition, with manifestation power, with quantum physics, with if you talk negatively, if you talk positively against your plants, your plants in your house, then your plants actually become more healthy. That's based on the idea of quantum physics and manifestation power. That all of the situations within a certain physical manifestations are true, and that the way that you observe that thing is what it makes it differently. So you can create a reality based on how you look at a certain thing. And if you look at something in a positive way, then you can actually create it in a more positive outcome. And then the concept, what is positive? And the positive is more alive, more vibrant, more growing, more expansion. So pro-life, pro-creation, pro instead of the other way around. So I wanted to end this conversation based on that. Thank you very much.